Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell the truth about silver. Today is Monday the 9th of November 2020, and earlier today we published the final episode of our Peak Gold series. But this evening we're going to talk about the collapse in gold and silver prices today, and take a look at exactly what has happened. Yes, earlier today we produced episode 5 of our Peak Gold series, which is the last, and next week we'll be producing episode 1 of our Are We Reaching Peak Silver series. But we've placed a link to episode 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 in the description box below. But since producing that video, we have seen gold and silver prices plummet today, with gold now standing at $1,864, down some $88, and having been as low as $1,851, and silver is down $1.79 at $23.85, having been as low as $23.61. In sterling terms, gold is down £67 at £1,417 an ounce, and silver is down £1.38 at £18.13 an ounce. So gold is down close to 5% and silver 7%, all in less than 1 day. So what exactly happened? Well, first of all, yesterday we produced a video entitled "What are equity markets likely to do tomorrow?" meaning today, where we highlighted the reasons why US and global stock markets were actually expected to rise today. But boy, did they. The Dow is currently up 1,307 points at 29,630. The S&P 500 is up 94 points at 3,603. And the Nasdaq is up 89 points at 11,984. UK and European markets are up between 5 and 8%. And although Asia-Pacific stocks closed last night up just 2% on average, we can expect further gains when they reopen this evening. So what has happened, we hear you ask? Well, quite frankly, apart from the reasons we gave in yesterday's video, the main reason is that today the pharmaceutical company Pfizer has announced that they have a vaccine with a 90% efficacy rating against the coronavirus. So, let's take a quick look at what Reuters has just reported on this in less than half an hour ago. Reuters article, dated November 9th, 2020, updated at 17:33, GMT +1. Headline, Great Day for Humanity. Pfizer says COVID-19 vaccine over 90% effective. Pfizer Inc.'s PFE.N experimental COVID-19 vaccine was more than 90% effective based on initial trial results, the company said on Monday. A major victory in the fight against a pandemic that has killed over 1 million people and battered the world's economy. Experts welcomed the first successful interim data from a large-scale clinical test as a watershed moment that showed vaccines could halt the pandemic, though mass rollouts of the shot, which needs regulatory approval, won't happen this year. Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech, SC, BNTX.O, said they had so far found no serious safety concerns and expected to seek US authorization this month for emergency use of the vaccine, raising the possibility of a regulatory decision as soon as December. If granted, the companies estimate they can roll out up to 50 million doses this year, enough to protect 25 million people, and then produce up to 1.3 billion doses in 2021. Today is a great day for science and humanity, Albert Bourla, Pfizer's chairman and chief executive, said. We are reaching this critical milestone in our vaccine development program at a time when the world needs it most, with infection rates setting new records, hospitals nearing overcapacity, and economies struggling to reopen. Experts cautioned that they still need to see the full trial data, which have yet to be peer-reviewed or published in a medical journal, but the preliminary results look encouraging so far. There are still many questions around the vaccine, such as how effective it is for vulnerable groups and how long it will provide immunity. And the new normal of social distancing and face masks look set to remain for the foreseeable future. BioNTech chief executive Ugur Sahin told Reuters he was optimistic the immunization effect of the vaccine would last for a year, though that was not yet certain. This news made me smile from year to year. It is a relief to see such positive results on this vaccine and bodes well for COVID-19 vaccines in general, said Peter Horby, Professor of Emerging Infectious Diseases at the University of Oxford. Market surge. The prospect of a vaccine electrified world markets, with the S&P 500 and Dow hitting record highs as shares of banks, oil majors and travel companies soared. Pfizer's shares were 8.6% higher in New York at 14.50 GMT, while BioNTech's stock was up 11%. Shares of other vaccine developers in the final stage of testing also rose, with Johnson & Johnson up 4.5% and Moderna 5.5% stronger. Britain's AstraZeneca was down 3.5%. The efficacy data are really impressive. This is better than most of us anticipated, said William Schaffner, infectious diseases expert at Vanderbilt University School of Medicine, Nashville, Tennessee. The study isn't completed yet, but nonetheless, the data looks very solid. US President Donald Trump welcomed the test results and the market boost. President-elect Joe Biden said the news was excellent, but did not change the fact that face masks, social distancing, and other health measures would be needed well into next year. 1.3 billion doses. Pfizer expects to seek broad US authorization for emergency use of the vaccine for people aged 16 to 85. To do so, it will need 2 months of safety data from about half the study's 44,000 participants, which is expected in the third week of November. I'm near ecstatic, Bill Gruber, one of Pfizer's top vaccine scientists, said in an interview. This is a great day for public health and for the potential to get us all out of the circumstances we're now in. To break the dynamic of the spread of the coronavirus, between 55% and 65% of the population will need to be vaccinated. Germany's health minister Jens Spahn told a news conference on Monday, adding that he doesn't expect a shot to be available before the first quarter of 2021. Pfizer and BioNTech have a $1.95 billion contract with the US government to deliver 100 million vaccine doses beginning this year. They have also reached supply agreements with the European Union, the United Kingdom, Canada and Japan. The US drug maker said the interim analysis was conducted after 94 participants in the trial developed COVID-19, examining how many of them had received the vaccine versus a placebo. Pfizer did not break down exactly how many of those who fell ill received the vaccine. Still, over 90% effectiveness implies that no more than 8 of the 94 had been given the vaccine, which was administered in 2 shots about 3 weeks apart. The efficacy rate is well above the 50% effectiveness required by the US Food and Drug Administration for a coronavirus vaccine. More data needed. To confirm the efficacy rate, Pfizer said it would continue the trial until there are 164 COVID-19 cases among participants. Borla told CNBC on Monday that based on rising infection rates, the trial could be completed before the end of November. Pfizer said its data would be peer-reviewed once it has results from the entire trial. These are interesting first signals, but again they're only communicated in press releases, said Marilyn Addo, head of tropical medicine at the University Medical Center Hamburg-Eppendorf in Germany. Primary data are not yet available and peer-reviewed publication is still pending. We still have to wait for the exact data before we can make a final assessment. The global race for a vaccine has seen wealthier countries forge multi-billion-dollar supply deals with drug makers such as Pfizer, AstraZeneca plc and Johnson & Johnson, raising questions over when middle-income and poorer nations will get access to inoculations. The US has spent billions of dollars to spur vaccine development at 6 pharma companies, including Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, through Operation Warp Speed. Pfizer is not part of that research and development program and runs its trial independently, but does have a nearly $2 billion deal to supply vaccines to the United States. Trump repeatedly assured the public that his administration would likely identify a successful vaccine in time for the presidential election held last Tuesday. On Saturday, Democratic rival Biden was declared the winner. Vaccines are seen as essential tools to help end the health crisis that has shuttered businesses and left millions out of work. Millions of children whose schools were closed in March remain in remote learning programs. Dozens of drug makers and research groups around the globe have been racing to develop vaccines against COVID-19, which on Sunday exceeded 50 million infections since the new coronavirus first emerged late last year in China. The Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine uses messenger RNA technology, which relies on synthetic genes that can be generated and manufactured in weeks and produced at scale more rapidly than conventional vaccines. Moderna Inc., whose vaccine candidate employs similar technology, is expected to report results from its large-scale trial later this month. The mRNA technology is designed to trigger an immune response without using pathogens such as actual virus particles. Pfizer alone will not have the capacity to immediately provide enough vaccines for the United States. The Trump administration has said it will have enough supply for all of the 330 million US residents who wish to be vaccinated by the middle of 2021. The US government has said the vaccines will be provided free to Americans, including the insured, uninsured, and those in government health programs such as Medicare. So there we have it. This has caused excitement throughout the markets. The question, of course, is, have they jumped the gun too soon? Or is this the start of a further leg in the equity bull market? One thing is for certain, in the very short term, the more likely a vaccine is to be available, the more downward pressure which will be exerted on precious metals, and especially gold, as silver may eventually have some respite as the economy gets back to work. Naturally, we're still positive precious metals longer term, simply because of the vast amount of currency that has been created in order to combat this pandemic. But that said, the next few days and weeks will be most interesting for sure, and we should watch developments as closely as ever. But that said, we are now even more confident than we were some months ago, and we were very confident then, that our prediction that we will not be seeing $3,000 gold or even $2,500 gold this year, and we would not even reach $35 silver, let alone $50 silver in 2021. We're confident that we're going to be right. So much, again, for the pumpers' guarantees. $50 and $3,000, if not $5,000 or $10,000. One day we shall all live and learn. But we have to admit, not to be too confident, there are still 2 months to go. But we won't be holding our breath. Meanwhile, please share your thoughts below. Thank you so much for listening. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel. Not forgetting to press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos as and when they are published. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer. Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.